that came through here, being patriated in the United States.
Who lives there now?
Huh?
Who lives there now? Where can these houses?
These are the military, force military. See all the foundations for all the houses?
Oh, yeah.
That's why I turned up this way. So this was a pretty big neighborhood at one
Oh,
time.
look at all those foundations there.
They're over here too.
Peggy 16.
"17 years ago, this horseshoe-shaped classic was the first Battlefield map ever released. Designed to offer players multiple choices for tackling each situation.
You can watch nila.
On December 7, 1941,
Oh.
Japanese Empire attacked the U.S. military base in Pearl Harbor.
First time the cham-cham. Char.
Mission in the Central Pacific. The Japanese would take it, they would have a huge advantage in dominating the Pacific Ocean, along with a large airfield as well, aiding the Axis powers in air superiority.
Naku,
Because of
wala
this,
na.
the defensive battle of Bay Valley heavily affected the outcome of World War II because of the impact that it would give the owner of the island and of the events that it leads to. The Americans took a stand against Japan by defending Lake Island and protecting its vital components, such as airfields, that would help with dominating the islands of the Pacific Ocean. The Americans ultimately lost the battles, and Japan gained power in the war due to their victory of Lake Island. This is the Battle of Lake Island. On December 29, 1934, U.S. Central America would get involved in World War II. An executive order signed by Franklin Delano Roosevelt stated that the Navy had full control of what could be the desolate and wolf-in-sheep's clothing, Wake Island, and would control everything that would go on for the next decade. Surprisingly, the first thing the Navy did with it was declaring the island a bird sanctuary to create a diversion to any opponents in the unknown and near future. They were secretly using the island as a stationary aircraft carrier and as a submarine base. Over the next few years, it seemed that war was coming soon, and both the Japanese and Americans were straining to fortify their territories in the Pacific. The Americans were very thorough, with many other islands, such as Wake Island and Guam, were getting much less new attention than needed, and did not receive as many weapons as they needed. Guam was not getting enough attention. It was defensive military position through the Japanese territories to the island and struck, along with Japan itself. It was listed as an easy win over the opposing force if Japan became involved in war with us. Wake Island was not getting enough attention due to its security and the fact that pretty much no one knew about it. It would be rough if it broke out. Soon enough, war broke out. By the time that the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor, the American troops on Wake Island were not hopeful. There were about a third of the troops recommended on Wake Island, and some soldiers did not even have rifles, let alone sidearms, which most officers did not even have. About half of the anti-aircraft stations were unmanned. Other stations had less crew than needed. On December 8, 1941, American Commander Winfield S. Cunningham had 449 U.S. Marines under direct command of Major James P.S. Devereaux 71 naval personnel under the direct command of Captain Henry S. Wilson, 12 F-4, F-3 Wildcats, American fighter planes flew by U.S. Marines, Fighter Squadron VMF 211, and under the direct command of Major Paul A. Putnam, and over 1,000 civilians and construction workers. These civilian workers were fine fellows who showed their mettle when the big test came, pronounced Lieutenant Colonel Walter L.J. Baylor. These civilians would be used to man some of the large guns and anti-aircraft guns as temporary soldiers. Word of what had occurred at Pearl Harbor the day before had just been received, just as the soldiers were at the base cafeteria, in line to get breakfast. Many did not get to finish eating their food, and some did not even get food to begin with, as the bugles of an invasion were blaring over the small top of a little island in the Tropic of Cancer. Japanese Admiral Sadamichi Kajoka began his invasion of Wake Island with 36 Japanese Mitsubishi G3M2 Nell bombers. The bombing tore up Wake and would leave the soldiers and civilians on this island distraught.
Hey guys, still here, and welcome back for episode 8. In this episode, I hope to be engaging this carrier group. It consists of a destroyer, a cruiser, a heavy cruiser, a battle cruiser, and more importantly, 2 aircraft carriers. Task Force 27 is going to be linking up with Task Force 1. This should give me enough firepower to overwhelm this group and wipe it out. Unfortunately, at the end of the previous episode, the enemy has taken Johnston. And by the looks of it, these carriers are going to try to join up with the other 2. So it is imperative that I take out these guys fast. That is going to be quite a challenge, though. We have control over the Marshall Islands. Take it back. Midway. And at Midway, Task Force 20...
capital of the Philippines, 5,000 miles by air from Hawaii and another 2,400 from San Francisco, is this country's chief oriental outpost. When the United States first occupied the islands during the Spanish-American War, they harbored 7 million persons and were so remote from our consciousness that Finley Peter Dunn's Mr. Dooley remarked that most Americans didn't know whether the Philippines was a place or something to eat. By the 1930s, the population has more than doubled, and Americans are so aware of their far-flung ward's existence and its rich natural resources that they have invested over $200 million in the region. American influences are apparent throughout its everyday life. Filipinos, there is a single political goal: independence. In 1934, the American Congress, in a significant departure from big power colonialism in Asia, pledges independence for the Philippines by 1946. Some Filipinos favor waiting for self-government until their country is politically mature. Others want to go it alone immediately. Leader of the country's major party, Manuel Quezon, elected first president when the Philippines achieved Commonwealth status in 1934. Quezon promptly asked the help of a retired soldier whose father, the Filipino president, once surrendered his sword after an abortive insurrection. For Douglas MacArthur, who brings along a promising young staff officer, it is his third trip to the island. As a field marshal in the Philippine Army, MacArthur conceives a 10-year plan for the defense of the Philippines. He has relatively few men to work with. Their training is still far from complete in 1941, when MacArthur becomes commander of United States forces in the Far East. Much of his tiny air force, whether through surprise or carelessness, historians still cannot agree, is destroyed before it leaves the ground. Manila is nonetheless uneasy, and with good cause. The Japanese ignore the proclamation.
Yung building na yun, nirestore lang. Nirestore lang yun.
Japanese ground forces have already landed, first on December 10th at the north of Luzon, Manila's island. Then at Legazpi, Mindanao, Lingayen Gulf, Palawan, the Visayas, and central Luzon. For undermanned American and Filipino defenders, there remains only the forlorn hope of falling back on two strongholds, Bataan and Corregidor. On March 12th, under orders from President Roosevelt, MacArthur heads for Australia. Before leaving, he swears a memorable prophetic oath.
I shall return.
I shall return.
Nothing is more certain than the ultimate reconquest and liberation from the enemy of those and adjacent lands. I repeat, I shall return.
Courage alone cannot sustain a combat soldier. On April 9th, Bataan falls and the infamous death march begins for 35,000 enfeebled American and Filipino captives. These Japanese pictures show only its start and not its ghastly consequences. Down on their heels, the Japanese concentrate on Corregidor. Every inch of this 5-square-mile island fortress is raked with bombs. Besiege Corregidor not only from the air, but also with artillery from Cavite and Bataan.
Sino ang nakapaglaban sa Pilipinas? Ha? Magkakampi ang Pilipinas sa Amerikana?
Huddled like moles in the Malinta Tunnel are soldiers, some of them wounded, Filipino government officials, doctors, and ill-equipped nurses, all awaiting the inevitable. On May 6, 1942, the Japanese finally set foot on Corregidor
Ay,
and
Japanese si kalaban mo.
fortress. To the Japanese General Homa, the American defeat is a glorious occasion. To the Filipinos, surrender means that independence must now wait for liberation. To McClellan Wainwright, it is a bitter moment, but he has capitulated in his words, with broken heart and head bowed in sadness, but not in shame.
Pabayatan mo. Ay, nung flag yun.
Manila under the Japanese. Knowing a soldier of the occupation is punishable by death. Many Filipinos take to the outlying hills as guerrillas. To those who remain home, the Japanese quickly demonstrate their endorsement of the age-old adage that to the victor belongs the spoils. Some of the loot, especially sugar and coconut oil, is hard to dispose of.
Sorry
The
na.
other countries
Ito
of
na
the
po,
Great East Asia
magkakagot na po.
co-prosperity
Sorry
sphere,
po.
of which the Philippine Island is shortly to
Sorry.
become a
Ups.
full-fledged member, aren't prosperous enough to buy. No matter, the Japanese appropriate it anyway. To the Japanese, the Filipinos eat frugally, but their conquerors dare not let them starve. Often the Japanese accompany their meager handouts with high praise for the virtues of austerity. Where once Americans figured importantly in the economy of the islands, Japanese move in. One step they take is to authorize the seizure of property belonging to enemy aliens. To simplify things, it is assumed that all property belongs to enemy aliens. Trying to smooth the course of their occupation, the Japanese institute what they call a policy of attraction. Their skilled propagandists work hard to put their best face forward, aided by their control of all channels of communication. Like many an occupying power, the Japanese appreciate the value of indoctrinating their subjects while they're young. Filipinos of all ages are told they have achieved independence, but it is a sham independence made in Japan. Quezon has fled to Washington. Puppet leaders friendly to Tokyo take over the island government. Most Filipinos hold them in contempt, but not openly. After all, they control the distribution of rice. There are the usual slogans, and along with them the usual parades. Native collaborators and Axis nationals make a show of solidarity. Nationality is represented in the parades. In 8 internment camps throughout the islands, thousands of Allied prisoners, mostly American, British, and Dutch, struggle to stay alive. Their food, they never see meat, arrive in the same garbage cans used to haul away the Japanese trash. The difference in quality is slight. To amuse themselves, the captives give their huts names like Frothy Bottom and Glamourville. There's little news from the outside world in Glamourville. Its residents hardly dare believe the rumors that seep through, that MacArthur from the Southwest Pacific and the Navy from the South and Central Pacific already have moved far along the road back to Manila. At a Honolulu conference in July 1944, a fateful choice is posed to President Roosevelt, MacArthur, and Admiral Chester Nimitz. Should the next objective, after the Solomons, after New Guinea, after the Gilbert Islands, be Formosa or the Philippines? The decision is made. MacArthur's pledge will be fulfilled. The next strike will be at the Philippines. First target, Leyte, then once that beachhead is secured, to hit Lingayen Gulf and Mindoro. The ultimate objectives, Manila, Bataan, Corregidor. October 20th, 1944. Return at Leyte, 8 months of fighting lie ahead. But now the story is different. In Leyte Gulf, Admiral William Hall ships have crippled the Japanese fleet, and American air power, humbled 3 years earlier, comes roaring back into its own. beaches, the welcome is effusive and deceptively carefree. But the American casualty figures of the Leyte campaign alone, 3,500 killed, 12,000 wounded, attest to the fierceness of the fighting in the jungles beyond the shore. In Luzon, as on Leyte earlier, the avenging soldiers can pause only briefly to accept the homage of the Filipinos they free. For beyond this village is another, and beyond a multitude of villages, all pointing toward victory. January 30th, 1945. 25 miles behind the Japanese lines, American Rangers liberate more than 500 survivors of the Death March and Corregidor. The next goal is Manila. Japanese suicide squads hold the city. The streets are mined. The people flee as best they can. The battle for Manila lasts a month. When it is over, much of the wounded city has been put to the torch. Before the flames have dwindled, the people of Manila start returning to their broken homes.
Fellas, welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing well. Today I'm being It's early morning of the 11th of December 1941. Aboard the light cruiser Yubari, Rear Admiral Saramichi Kajioka holds a final briefing before a planned invasion as his task force steams.
Dahil na sa ganda ng Pilipinas matapos ang Miss Universe 1993 pageant, ay nagpasya ang Pilipin na manatili sa Pilipinas sa loob ng halos 5 taon. Sa mga panahong pananatili niya sa bansa, ay nakilang siya sa mga makuhusay na actress.
Tita, roast me hard para mataas yung ratings.
I agree.
Give me hard questions. I don't want this to be an easy, light, conservative type of interview. I like when you cosplay Japanese schoolgirl. Ano ba yan? Normal outfit? Today's gonna be a very short vlog because I left my camera at her house. Oh, Vinny and I vlogging. This is a raw vlog. We can have an interview with 7:30 a.m. right now. Yeah, how do you feel? Are you nervous? It's a live interview. I'm not nervous yet, but like when I see my pita goes beast mode. Have you ever seen Karen Doppala roast people on live TV? If there's a roast master in the Philippines, her name is Karen Doppala, and I just hope she doesn't roast us the way she did Al Miranda. Ooh!
So are you for the reproductive health law? Yes, in all forms, or yes, with reservations?
Yes, with reservations.
Oh, what are the reservations?
Kailangan ko ba sagutin?
Of course, you're running for the Senate.
Ha?
Oh. What are the reservations? Contraception. Should the government spend for contraception? Should the government spend?
And anyone else? Comment below who else might be that has roasted.
Kumusta na siya? Excited ka ba? Doon! Yan na yan. Yan na yan. Doon! 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 Kita na. Doon! Ayos! Tara!
Oh, my son, Alexi, Michelle.
This is Olivia.
Hi! Nice to meet
She's
you.
one of my besties.
I know.
Michelle! Just don't turn around, Tita. Okay lang. Parang nila, you could be Jeremy. What's her name? Jeremy? What's Karen? Karen Doppala?
Pero lagi mo natin tatandaan na mas masarap ang inuman. Basta't may pulutan.
She's funny. Sexy Tita. 2017 Sexiest Woman of the Year, Karen Davila. Ay, 2015.
From here.
Tita, roast me hard para mataas yung ratings.
I agree.
Give me hard questions. I don't want this to be no easy, light, conservative type of interview. I like it hard. So what is this anti-aging stuff you're drinking that keeps you young forever?
No, that's
Go,
just,
free endorsement, go.
that's just honey, hot water, and lemon. I just have 5 hours of sleep when I get to bed started.
And then you nap out.
It's hard to warm. You have to nap in the middle of the day.
Stay good. Awesome. Libra starts in 3.
You support the RH law with reservations. So what are your reservations in the RH law?
I have to like survive these next 2 years.
So ang sabi mo kasi ito, para ako sa RH law with reservation.
But the first
May 4 na bahagi doon o 3 na hindi sinang ayunan ng Korte Suprema.
I really like, you know,
Ano sa RH law ang ayaw mo o gusto mo?
what I do is so fulfilling. It makes me happy and it makes me feel like I'm actually making a difference, you know.
It's fair to say that you've done your best and you've achieved a lot. I mean,
I really like, you know.
So we're halfway done with the interview and she almost made me cry.
you should have done it.
I literally had to just pause for 10 seconds because I was tearing up. Oh man, I was ready for the roast. I was not ready for the tears though. There's my K-pop girlfriend over here. Alright, interview is over. Ethan Karen definitely grilled me with some real tough and controversial questions. But yeah, it's good. That's what you're known for though. You gotta keep it real though.
Yeah.
You know what's funny though is like a few years back when I was like doing commercials and joining showbiz, I jokingly said one day, you know, like that'd be so crazy if she interviewed me on her show. Like, this is the first time, you know, we're on like
Because I was
television
supposed
together.
to interview you when you won your influencer award, but they snapped me. You were too busy. You were traveling. That was the first one.
I was busy.
Was it both of you?
You know,
Yeah.
Salamat sa kisan, have you She's taking out to breakfast to grill us and now it's time for the roast that's not on television, the one behind the cameras, which he never lets me film everything. I wish I could show you guys everything. Beast mode, you grill everything. So obviously we've been chatting for a while and you can't get everything on the video because you know you gotta live the moment sometimes. But Ethan here was saying a lot of inspirational and meaningful stuff.
I was telling Will, and I'm telling you now that well, you're in your 20s. I'm 48, and of course when I'm 70 or 80, what's important in life will change. And I think you have the most important things right now. Number one, it's like you've been given a new lease of life. It's being born again, literally. Your health has to be supported. And the other thing is found someone to really love. I mean, both of you love each other with the same intensity. It's hard to find. And I was telling Will that everything else after this is really secondary. Things that either you don't get, you don't think it to do, or things that upset you, or things that don't go your way. It's not as important as what you have. Because you have 2 of the most important things. Love and health. That's it. That's it.
That's all you need. Those are the 2 ingredients to happiness.
So consider yourself blessed.
I am. That's all. Some dude paid for our meal. What a moment. We didn't even... That guy paid for our meal. Some guy sneakily just paid for our entire meal. Yeah. That's mind-blowing. Yeah. Wow. Thank you. Thank you, wonderful person you. That's such a heartwarming. So great. Good things happen like that. That's the first time that's ever happened, actually, where someone secretly just paid for a bill. Sure. By the way, we're here at Melodia's house. This is Nina. Yeah, with the NEA from The Inquirer. We're doing a one-house interview for the day, and we're having fun. And it's good because interviews get a lot easier. This is bringing me back when you first start to do them. Kind of hard.
Kita yung lips ni Kuya. Nagla-live si Kamkam. Yan na yung nagla-live ngayon. Hindi, nakita na ng video yun. Nagla-live si Kamkam eh.
Ito?
Kita ang tulog-tulog na nagla-live pa. Uy! Uy! Naka-live yan, live yan. Baste! Bad! Ulam nila kamatis.
Edit naman yan eh.
Hindi na ma-edit yan. Kasi diretso na yun, nasa ano na yun. Para siguro ni Kuya, maiilit pa yun. Mukha ka pa.
Bakit naman nagsasaya kayo ng memory space niya?
Uy! Yan, ano, wala rin yung space yun. Diretso na si YouTube. Diretso, hindi mo na siya kailangan i-upload. Parang Facebook Live ba? Kumain na si Tony. Yeah.
Oo, ano nga may biglang.
Pero hindi pa rin inubos ka.
Ano yan? I think
Nalipacho yan.
pag-iwan na yung patso ng isang araw kasi doble-doble yung kinain niya.
Hindi natunawan nata yan, kaya wala siyang gana. Nalipacho yan. Pero kumain siya kunti. Bagal na lang sa kumahan. Hindi mo yung anak mo. Tapos sisikat ka niya dun sa video mo. Pero mahal, kung ano sa sisikat. Lumis kasi, oh. Hindi, yung katabi niya, katabi niya nagbibenta ba?
Ano yung sabi nga about ano? Birthday niya?
Sabi niya, maglinis daw siya ng ano, magpinta yung katabi niya. Kasi malumis mo kami. Matanda ba? Kaya walang benta. kawan ng tumbatan nila. Pagkay si Teddy bear. Lamig ikaw? Ha? Lamig? Lamig ikaw? Andun na ako sa dito. Dito sa basketball naman ang babae. Kaya pinalan din ako. Ako niluluto sa akin. Ano, niluluto niya sa balikin. Relax. Si ano?
Siguro yun ang makalaan niya para ipakita sa akin at makilalan. Di ba ang mga magulang hindi sinasaktan ang anak ko? Ang kulit mo, dinilisapin sa mami.
Kukulit nga eh.
Hindi pa na ang bago mo.
Okay. Yan lang?
Kasi po, tinutokso po nila kami po eh. Sabi po nila, puso daw po kayo.
Nakapag.
nag-alala, makauwi siya para makasama natin siya sa Pasko. Ha? Sana hindi tumigil si tatay sa magbebenta para matanggap natin ngayong Pasko mamakain. Ay, kailan po ulit kami makakapili ng tatay? Kailan po ulit kami maipapasyal? Sana kompleto tayo ngayong Pasko. Halina ang Pasko dito. Inibigay ko na sa inyo mga regalo nila sa dali. Dali na anak. Ayan. Ito pa rin pala lang natin ng pera natin sa kanila, ha? Ito. Muna. Tapos. Denver. Dito ka na. Ano ka na? Sige. Sige. Tapos, ito. Daniela, pangalay ka ha. Ikaw dapat gumamit yan, pero kailangan ipahiram mo din sa mga kapatid mo, ha? Mag-iisip ako ba muna? Paano ba makamala? Sirain na to.
Hindi pa.